Hey there guys, it's Anthony from Cutting Edge Guitar here. Today's video is another recommended guitar book that you absolutely should own, and this is The Advancing Guitarist by Mick Goodrick. Okay, I know that there are loads of videos that talk about this on YouTube, but hear me out about why I think you should be looking at it, because hopefully if you haven't bought it yet, you will hear something that makes you go and get it, and you'll hear my reasons why you need it. Okay, this book was recommended to me by 3 or 4 teachers when I was at the Guitar Institute. Okay, I hadn't even heard of it until I got there, and to tell you the truth, I had owned a lot of guitar books when I was younger, and I was like, well, I've been having loads of private lessons. I'm now at music college. What do I need to get another book for? And the actual recommendation was because when you leave here, as in when you leave the Guitar Institute, this book will constantly open doors for you for the rest of your guitar playing life. And I thought, do you know what? I'll have some of that. That sounds really, really good. So, something that I love about this book, do you know what? That's an interesting thing, isn't it? I've turned it round. Nothing on the back. There's no bells, there's no whistles, there's no marketing spiel or anything like that. It's just, here we go, get wicked at guitar. No messing around. I love that. When you open up this book, I will say this. The first time you look at it, right? It is terrifying. Because what do you see? You see loads of text and you see loads of music notation. But you don't see any tab whatsoever. Shall I tell you why? Because this is for proper guitarists, right? People who are serious. This is going to rub people up the wrong way. I know it is. There's going to be people watching this, giving it all the big one and all the rest of it. Right, I've got to tell you, I'm straight into the ranty side with this book, okay? Is you see the reviews. I've really got to stop reading these reviews because obviously they get on my nerves. But you see the reviews about this book, and the first thing, okay? Oh, there's no tab. Right, okay, you've given this book a 1-star review because there's no tab. I think you'll find that it is a music education book. So the fact that it has music notation in there and not just tab is probably not its fault. Whose fault is it? The person who can't read the music notation. That is not the book's fault. Okay. So yeah, I suppose there'll be loads of people, oh no, because tab is the modern thing, this is the way it's got to be, and it's all this and it's all that. But you know, I'm sorry guys, but no, it's called The Advancing Guitarist. Okay. Now, am I going to sit here and say that I'm an absolutely ace sight reader? No. I'm an electric guitar player. I'm not an ace sight reader. I mean, if I'm practicing sight reading because I've got a gig where I need to be reading, of course I get good at reading, but most of the time you put reading on the shelf because you want to work on other things and all the rest of it. I get that. That's okay, because that's most of us. But to say that you cannot read music because basically you've been too lazy to try and learn to read music, and then like you've got a problem with the book because it's written in notation, that ain't fair, man. You can't give a book a 1-star review for something like that. That's stupid. So when you start opening up this book and you start reading, here's the next thing. It's not loads of exercises. It's concepts. I mean, it even says that in the subtitle. I mean, oh, for God's sake, read the subtitle. Applying guitar concepts and techniques. This is allowing you to get into Mick Goodrick's head. And trust me, if you want to be a good guitar player, you want to be in Mick Goodrick's head. The subjects that he talks about in this book are vast and so eye-opening. I mean, like the introduction, all about the approach at the fretboard. That was mind-blowing for me, because he was one of the first people that made me realise that just practicing playing up and down shapes when you're playing the guitar isn't really the most intelligent way to go about things. You should be practicing your scales along the length of strings. You should be playing positionally across shapes, and then you should be looking to combine all of those elements together so that in his own words you can use the, I think he calls it the electric ice skating rink. What does he call it in here? I'll see if I can find it. The realm of the electric ice skating rink. See, now, who doesn't want to be able to play all over the whole fretboard with complete freedom? Because I tell you, when I was younger, that's exactly what I was looking for. So being able to connect up all your scales, play along the length of strings, through arpeggios through positions, and all this sort of stuff. You're not going to see tons of tab exercises of all of that, but Mick's going to talk you through how you should do all of those things. And that is where the absolute value is in this book. It's all of the concepts, all the things that he talks about. And I don't care how good you get at the guitar, you can crack this open to any point during your practice and just go, do you know what, there's some really great ideas in there. And I also think as a guitar teacher that this sort of stuff, if you're ever sort of feeling stale about the material that you're giving to your students, you know, where can I get some fresh inspiration from to think, how can I start making them feel or think differently about scales, harmony, chord playing, triads? I mean, like, there's so much work in here about triads, which is really, really interesting. You know, there's so much food for thought, it's unreal. So this book is absolutely superb and everyone should get it. Just as a little aside about where this book has been such an influence on me, I probably, if I talk about the last few books that I've done in this series, between Guthrie's books, Frank Gambale's books, everything I did at the Guitar Institute, all the private tuition I had, if I put all of those things together, that's probably where I could say my style has ended up coming from in terms of being a player, but also being a teacher. I've found so much in those materials that I'm like, there's brilliant parts in every one of those things. What needs to happen is those kind of elements all need to come together and be in one place, and that would then just be such a great way to learn. And funnily enough, that's exactly what I've been trying to do with my advanced guitar courses that I'm now uploading to my website. They are an amalgamation of all of these things that I'm putting together. Obviously, I'm turning it into something that I could make sense of as well. Because things like this, there's some really, really hard concepts in a book like this that I had to digest that information and then go, okay, I sort of see what you're saying, but how am I going to make this work for a mere mortal? You know, I say quite often to people, like, you know, people say, oh, you're so talented, or, you know, no, I haven't got any talent whatsoever. I've had to work really, really hard at understanding all of these things and breaking it all down so that I could understand it and be able to use these things. I think ultimately, you know, when you're in a situation like that, you might not be the best player, and I never would say to anybody that I am, but it does make you a good teacher because you've got to find a way of deciphering what's going on. And music is like a really difficult subject. So if you can decipher those things and then put that point across to someone to make it easier for them to understand, that's one of the things that would make someone a good teacher. And, you know, without wanting to say that that's exactly what I am, because, again, I would never say that to people. I'm, you know, try to be as humble as I can all the time. But I do think that that is a skill that I have learned from reading materials like this, actually. So, final recommendation really is this isn't just a great piece of reference material to help you become a great guitar player. This will also help you become a better guitar teacher if that's what you like to do, if that's what your career path is, etc. So, to summarise, get this book. Okay, hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. Please do give it a like. That will really help me out. Talk to me in the comments about what you think about this book, or you know, just start the conversation. Let's talk guitar, because I love nothing more than to talk to you guys about guitar. And please do subscribe to the channel so that you get a notification the next time one of my videos comes out. Hope you're enjoying the content. Just let me know, and I will speak to you or see you in the next video. Take care, guys.